using the principles of trigonometric functions in solving for a right triangle. Example, given the cosine x is equal to 1 over 3, find the other trigonometric functions. It is easier to look for the other functions if you are going to graph or plot the given. So cosine x is equal to 1 over 3. The denominator, 3, is the hypotenuse. So this is the hypotenuse, 3. And the numerator, 1, is the adjacent. So given that cosine x is equal to 1/3, 3 is the hypotenuse and 1 is the adjacent. So x here is our angle, 1 is the adjacent side. So to solve for x, we can make use of cosine x is equal to 1 over 3. So x is equal to cosine inverse 1 over 3. So in doing this, we can make use of scientific calculator. So we can make use of scientific calculator. So cosine inverse 1 over 3 so the result is 70.53 degrees, or that is 70 degrees 31 minutes and 43.61 seconds. So cosine inverse 1 over 3 is 70 degrees 31 minutes 43.61 seconds. So x here the angle x here is approximately 70 degrees. So this is not drawn to scale. So we have 70 degrees. Or 70.53 degrees as our x, or angle x. Now in solving for b, you can use the Pythagorean theorem or using the principles of trigonometric functions. You can either solve using the Pythagorean theorem or the trigonometric functions principles. So with the basis of x, so sine x is equal to opposite over the hypotenuse. So sine x is equal to opposite, that is b over 3. But sine x is, the value of x is 70.53. So we have 3 sine 70.53 is equal to the value of b. So the value of b is 2.83, or the length of b is 2.83 or 2.828. How about using the Pythagorean Theorem or Pythagorean Formula? So let us try. C squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. So we have c is 3. 3 squared is equal to RA is 1. So we have 9 minus 1. So 3 squared is 9. Then 1 squared is 1. So using the additive inverse, so 9 minus 1 is equal to b. b is 9 minus 1 is equal to b squared. So if we're going to square both sides, we have b is equal to square root of 8. But square root of 8 is 2 square root of 2. So the value of b is 2 square root of 2. 2 square root of 2 is approximately 2.82 or 83. Let us use scientific calculator. Two square root of 2 is we have 2.828. So that is approximately 2.83. So we are correct in using the concept of trigonometric functions. So it's similar with the concept or the principles of Pythagorean theorem or Pythagorean formula. So b is 2 square root of 2, or that is 8 square root of 8. b is square root of 8. If we're going to simplify square root of 8, that is 2 square root of 2. So we can now solve for the 6 trigonometric functions. For sine x, so sine x is sine x. Sine is opposite over, so opposite over the hypotenuse. So square root of 8 over 3. For tangent x, we have sine over cosine. Sine is square root of 3 of sine is square root of 8 over 3, while cosine is 1 over 3. So the result is, so we have sine is square root of 8 over 3. The reciprocal of cosine is 3 over 1. So the result is square root of 8. So tangent x is square root of 8. In solving for x, we can also make use of sine or tangent. Like let us try to use the scientific calculator. So sine is opposite over the hypotenuse. The opposite is square root of 8 over 3, the hypotenuse. So the result is 70.52. How about if you're going to make use of cosine? Cosine is, for cosine, we have cosine inverse 1/3. The result is still the same. So for sine inverse square root of 8 over 3, the result is 70.52. And that's the same with cosine inverse 1 over 3. How about for tangent? Tangent is, so tangent inverse, tangent is sine over cosine. So sine is square root of 8 over 3 divided by 1 over 3. So tangent is square root of 8. Square root of 8 is still the same, 70.53 degrees. 70.53 degrees. So our angle is 70.53 degrees. Angle X is 70.53 degrees. So you can make use of any of the given function in solving for the angle of the right triangle, or in solving for the acute angle of a right triangle, you can make use of the trigonometric functions, the sine, cosine, and tangent, or even the reciprocals, the secant, cosecant, and cotangent. So again, you can make use of the principles of trigonometric functions in solving for the angles of the right triangle, or in solving for the acute angles of the right triangle. So b is square root of 8. B is square root of 8. So sine is, again, sine x is, so that is opposite over the hypotenuse. For tangent x is sine over cosine. So sine is square root of 8 over 3 divided by 1 over 3. So square root of 8 over 3 times 3 over 1. So that is square root of 8. So tangent x is square root of 8. For secant x, we know that secant x is the inverse of cosine x. So secant x is 3. For cosecant x. Cosecant x is the inverse of sine, so we have 3 over square root of 8. For cotangent x, so we know that cotangent x is a reciprocal of tangent x, so that is 1 over square root of 8. This 3 over square root of 8 and 1 over square root of 8, it can still be rationalized, or it can still be simplified. So 3 over square root of 8 is 3 square root of 8 over 8, or 3 square root of 2 over 4. This 3 square root of 8 will become this will become 3 square root of 2 over 4. If we are going to simplify 3 over square root of 8, the result is 3 square root of 2 over 4. And if you're going to simplify cotangent x, or 1 over square root of 8, the result is, if you're going to simplify 1 over square root of 8, the result is square root of 2 over 4. Again, if you're going to simplify 1 over square root of 8, if you're going to simplify 1 over square root of 8, the result is square root of 2 over 4.